Hello Aquarius, this is your extended reading. So there are intriguing things coming through here in your extended, and I feel like somehow the energy boost that is coming from behind you, it continues, but it's almost like it's not that it's decreasing its speed, but it's almost like you're getting hold of it, or it's like the contrast between the pace that you were going and the pace that now you're like moving with. It's like almost like one whole experience. It's like there is no, like, the impact that you first sensed when the Ace of Swords hit you from behind and was distributed through your body and mainly through your heart. It's like this is something that is now surrounding you. So it's almost like now you're moving with the speed of wind. So it's almost like you're not feeling the presence of the wind anymore. It's almost like you're so fast. You're like, because you have been, you have been given this push, right, with the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Swords, that now with this Seven of Swords opening your extended, it's almost like the wind, it's almost like you're the wind now. It's almost like you're not something separate from the wind. It's almost like if you were chasing this truth, right? Truth being the wind in this case today for you, Aquarius. But it's like now walking with the wind, running with the wind. It's like your speed is not your own. Your speed is the wind's speed, right? It's like the wind is taking you forward, right? It's like moving you. It's almost like now it's like you're being carried in a sense by the wind, because the wind is like it penetrated your whole body, right? The way that it fragmented through and was distributed through your whole body and through your heart. It's like now you're moving with it. Now you are the wind in a sense. And remember, we ended with whatever was coming out of you, whatever creation was being expressed through you, because it was already being, like, it was being shaped within your heart, right? But now it's like the perfect moment with this boost of the wind, of the truth, that it's time for it to be expressed and for it to be received, because it's almost like there is this lending fertile net, right? That it's supposed to catch this thing, right? This energy of yours that is so pure. And it's like this one here is like really, it's almost like they're eager to receive what is coming out of you, right? So when you embrace this speed of the wind, it's like you no longer feel it's like impacted. It's something that becomes you. It's like it is surrounding you. So now you're it. So there's no more concern about it. It's almost like there is like this serenity of like the merging, right? It's like there is no longer like you and the wind. It's just one thing. I don't know if it makes sense at all. So moving on here with this line here, which is so gorgeous. We have, two wands card, the Three of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. So this is talking about this process here, right? When we saw the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands in the first part. So it's like something that is coming out of you that is ready to be co-created, right? It's almost like you're coming in with, the pure intention from your heart, and whatever is like finding you or catching this pure intention is very fertile, and it's like this promised land. It's how it's coming through right now. So here, because we have the Three of Wands and then you showing up, Aquarius, as the Knight of Cups, it's almost like remember, you became the wind, but it's like with the Knight of Cups here, it's like this thing that now is outside of you. It's almost like you are the embodiment of this thing that now is out into the world, or at least, is in the field of reality, or, the domain of the King of Pentacles, right? The domain of the material, of the physical world. And so it doesn't mean that like, it's like here it is, your pure intention is here, and it's meeting like a potential that is within this net of flowers, right? So this 10 of wands here is coming through as like a vine, or you know, I'm seeing, you know, these lanes here as like these oh my god, what is the name? Is it lane, or like, you know, the passageways for like people to harvest, you know, the grapes and stuff. So in the middle here, it's like whatever was acting as like the net, right, to receive what you were expressing, it's like there is also a potential that is now being merged. It's almost like what you were bringing, which is not only something that is coming out of you, but is like you are it, right? You are incorporating it, because it's like you are integrated with whatever you're co-creating, but somehow it's like it's meeting such a fertile terrain, right? It's like it's almost like there is this perfect soil that is ready to receive the intention of love that you're bringing, and that was like just waiting for the perfect wind to hit, right? And so it's almost like there is a lot of fertility here. There is a lot of fertility. There is a lot of potential of like joining creative forces, right? It's almost like joining the perfect intention with the perfect resource, or the perfect place, or the perfect tools or resources, in a way that is like the potential for it to flourish, for it to like bloom in such a beautiful way is like very, very beautiful. And it's almost like it's moving for you, right? It's almost like, I don't know if you're surprised to see this happening for you, Aquarius, because it's almost like you becoming the wind, you becoming this expression of love, this expression of, you know, this pure co-creation. It's like, it's so, it's hard to explain really, because it's something that it's like, it's still intention at this point. It's almost like still a seed, right? A seed of love, but with the perfect conditions. It's like with the perfect net, like this thing is being catched like by the perfect fertile conditions. So yeah, I don't know how else to explain that. It's just coming through as a net of flowers, which is so gorgeous. It's like your intention is not going to be missed, right? It's almost like if we think of a net that, you know, has holes, you being the wind, you could assume or maybe think that, you know, the wind can just pass through. But remember, yes, if it was just this one very strong arrow to cross through you, to pass through you, it could have been something that, you know, maybe could even be missed, right? But because it was, you know, turned into many different pieces to be perfectly distributed through your body, it's like something that it's not going to be it's not going to be missed, right, Aquarius? I don't know what other words to use to explain that. It's like it is going to be catched, right? It is going to be catched, because it's like there is intention to co-create, like the two here in the middle. It's like the vines won't be harvested like on their own, right? There has to be like the perfect combination of a pure intention coming from like the potential to like flourish. It's like the ingredient that they were missing, right? They were missing this ingredient of love, perhaps, right? And so it's like when you came and expressed this thing, it's like it was exactly what they were expecting. It's like they're happy to see you. It's like they're happy to see this pure intention coming out of you, and they're ready to receive it, because it's like it's almost like this is exactly what was missing, right? This was exactly the piece of co-creation that they were missing, and they were expecting even, right? And here you come, Aquarius. It's like really joining forces to make this garden flourish, to make this vine, you know, such a beautiful place, you know, to harvest good grapes and good wine, you see? So here, with this very interesting combination, because we have two kings and the Four of Pentacles in the middle. So we have the King of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and you on the other side coming out as the King of Cups. So remember, from the first part, we had the Four of Wands leading and finishing actually with the King of Pentacles, which is like, you know, potentially just know this reality, or, you know, it could be some sort of important person that is like, it's not handing you the perfect tools, but it's almost like receiving your intention with like really high expectations, like expectations maybe to profit from this, but you know, like both of you are going to benefit from this meeting in the middle, from this, you know, your intention being caught in the net of flowers that this one is, you know, they have set up in order to get whatever you're sending out, right? Even if it was pushed by some sort of, you know, spirit intention to make this speed up a little bit, if you were unsure if that was, you know, the proper moment to push that out of your pull that out of your heart, right? So, but here, coming back now, here if we had the Four leading towards the King, now we have the King of Wands, which is, you know, the same suit as this Four, and then the Four of Pentacles, which is, you know, the Pentacles is here and the Four is here. So you see this matching. Is interesting how like this mirroring is happening to me, because it's almost like I feel like when you get into contact with this one, when your intention is met with the perfect conditions of this reality, of this physical domain, it's like, it's almost like they were expecting you. They wanted to meet you. They were waiting for you to send out this thing, right? In order, because it's almost like they saw the potential to co-create with you. And so this is almost like if you were seeking out the truth, I don't feel like you were intentionally seeking to co-create anything with anybody any soon, right? This was not your intention, Aquarius. Even though it was, you know, being shaped, like there was something very internally in you being shaped within your heart. It's almost like I feel like maybe you weren't aware that this was there, right? And this was ready to be shown, or this was ready to be exposed and expressed and, you know, shared. So here, when we see this King of Wands, and, you know, it's almost like backing you up with the perfect soil. It's almost like I'm seeing this as a plant, a veggie bed, like a, you know, a bed for like planting, and, you know, just really using this rich soil as a perfect place to grow things, right? And, you know, the opportunity to grow together was the title for the reading yesterday. So maybe there's the point of contact again with Capricorn's reading, Aquarius. But I feel like somehow, maybe this is, you know, you relating to a Capricorn. But it's like they see the potential as much as like they see the opportunity that like your contribution is enriching. It's like it's going to benefit all parties, right? It's not just their domain. It's almost like if you weren't there, right, to like, it's almost like to bring your seeds, it's like they would only have this bare soil. They wouldn't have like anything to grow within it. It's almost like they did have potential and, you know, a fertile land, but they didn't have the seeds, perhaps, right? It's almost like they did have like some flowers or some potential, but they didn't have like new seeds. It's almost like what you're bringing is entirely new, because it's like it's coming from a source that is like very pure and very strong, because it's like now within you, like you are, it's like that, it's like because you have become the wind and you have become the thing that you are expressing. It's almost like this thing that it's like now, you know, seen or, you know, exposed, because it has come out of your heart, like, and into the world, into the realm that is visible, right? It's like it's almost like you don't feel like as if you were receiving help. It's almost like now this is almost like not taken for granted, but it's like the same thing as running at the same speed of the wind, right? So you don't feel the wind anymore. So it's something that it's just integrated to your being, you see? So it's something that it's like it's not causing any sort of disturbance or like too much noise, right? It's not something that it's like, you know, the noise of the wind can be very disturbing, you know, even if we think of a storm, it's like it can be very annoying at times. But because you are at the same speed, it's like you are now ready to incorporate whatever it is that is coming out of you, and this is what is like bringing you to this new soil that is like joining forces with the perfect person, the perfect condition, the perfect land that is not only enriching for you, but it's also enriching for them, which has, you know, a lot to do with yesterday's reading also. But because we're ending here with the King of Wands, sorry, the King of Cups, it's like there is this leap, there is this upgrade, there is this it's almost like you didn't know like how skilled or how much potential you had, that it could like it's almost like if you thought you were limited, right, Aquarius, it's almost like if you thought, well, first of all, if you weren't aware that there was this potential within your heart, and suddenly this thing, it's like expressed naturally, right? It comes out of you, and like there is no resistance to go with it. It's like you just go with it and you become it, right? In a way that it's like you are an apprentice of like the experience of becoming it, of being it in such a fertile land, in a land that it's like it was expecting you to come into this like exact position, into the exact realization that you are this creation. It's like you see that this potential that they are trying to show you, or that they are, you know, trying to make it more visible, it's almost like now you can become them, or now you can become this reality. It's almost, or an expression of this reality that is no longer just an intention, or just like this seed of potential. It's almost like you're carrying within your being like this it's almost like the whole experience. It's almost like you understand what it means to have something like unexpectedly come out of you and like just flourish, right? And grow with it and become it in the highest level, not just it's like the initial stage of growth. It's almost like you are, it's like you're growing it to the fullest of the potential that there is, that this one is showing you, not only with providing you with the perfect soil and the perfect bed for you to plant your seeds, right? It's almost like they are inspiring you to become as them. It's like, because it's almost like whatever drives them is something that is like happiness and joy and fulfillment, and just this state of, you know, being, it's almost like being integrated to the land. It's like even though they are maybe a human being, right, a person, it's like they are also their creation, right? And this is what they're showing to you. It's almost like in order, like, their co-creation with you is to show you that with what they have, with the conditions of the reality that they are in and they have created themselves, part of it, right? But with your contribution, it's almost like they are expanding this beauty, expanding this harvest, right? It's like you are learning how you also can grow, like, beyond what you thought you had inside of you, right? If you didn't know, like, since it's like what is that word? I always say it wrong because I titled one reading like that and I can't remember what it was, but I said growth spurt, but I know that it's growth spurt because somebody corrected me on the comments, and thank you so much for that, by the way. So it's almost like this quick growth spurt, right, Aquarius? You are becoming this King of Cups, like in the blink of an eye, but it's not a blink of an eye, but because it's like in the blink of, you know, the speed of the wind, if it makes sense. It's like you are like becoming as fast as the wind because you are becoming your creation, because you are co-creating with this reality or with this person that is showing how to become this reality to the fullest, to the maximum potential that there is, right? And that is something that is like, it's just enhancing the potential that you had at hand, you know, and maybe you didn't even know that you had this in your heart. So it's like by having this push, right, from spirit, it's like all of this force, all of this truth comes out of you and you become this thing that is coming out of you, right? It's like you are recognizing it because there is this beautiful gnat that is helping you to flourish in a sense. So I'm sweating. Let's see, Aquarius, what the astrological runes have to add then as a final guidance for you. By the way, it's so good to be back. Oh. Okay, 2 rooms. Okay, so we have, I saw first this, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh. Oh. I can't sneeze. I apologize if I sneeze in the middle of this video. So the first room that I saw was this South Node and then the sign of Cancer, which is my sun sign. So actually, you know, I want to talk about this South Node first because when I saw it, and because there was another room that I didn't see it, you know, I was wondering, like, how funny would it be if the South Node came and then the other room would be the North Node. That would be so incredible. I wonder if one day that happens. It's like it would be a dream come true. So nevertheless, that is just a side note. The message that, you know, comes through with the South Node for you, Aquarius, is that whatever you're becoming in this, you know, growth spurt, that is incredible because you're like the conditions that you're being met with are like the perfect combination for you to just bloom in such a beautiful way, but like become your co-creation, right? That is like just the main message here. But here with Cancer, I was really, you know, intrigued actually because sometimes when Cancer comes through, I have to be like very careful not to like blend my own energy with the message that comes from Cancer, but it's inevitable because I'm a Cancerian. So I was going to say that the message, because of all of this that I just said, is that this process that is like becoming your full potential is something that can be felt as very personal, but also very emotional, right? you are becoming the King of Cups. So in a sense, it's like you're becoming your full heart. You are expressing yourself maybe with a new set of emotions. And it's like, don't worry if this is not a territory that you know that well, right? Being an air sign, just know that it's like, you know, Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. So it's almost like, you know, because you have become the wind, don't worry that, you know, all of the, like, all of the things that are like, how do I express this? It's like all of the spiritual push that you needed is going to be with you, right? Wherever you are, because now you are like, you have incorporated it. It's almost like being watched over by a mother. It's like they're always going to watch over you, right? But this is something that is incredibly personal in a way that it's like, it's just the beginning. So don't worry if like becoming this highest version of yourself, it's too like unfamiliar. It will become familiar. This is also something that, you know, Cancer knows well, right? To turn things that are incredibly new and turn them into familiar things, because this is what brings Cancer, you know, security and the sense of comfort. So don't worry if this is really, really new, because it's just the beginning, okay? So, Aquarius, I hope, you know, this was insightful or helpful in any way. This is my only intentions to, you know, just post this freely on YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed it and that it was helpful to you. And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.